It's hard to track down the elusive scrunchie that actually fits my super thick hair, but luckily I know how to sew, and this is an easy DIY. Welcome to the Sewing Report. I'm Jen. This channel is all about making sewing and crafts fun and approachable. We are getting into the holiday season with dedicated sew-along videos. I really wanted to focus on fast, easy projects geared towards beginners. If you purchase the ready-to-sew holiday kit, you have materials to make one ginormous scrunchie for yourself or a gift. Otherwise, you just need to cut one strip of fabric. If you're here and you don't know anything about sewing, I encourage you to watch my Learn to Sew series featuring the Brother CS7000i to nail down the basics. Then come back to this tutorial. Here's what you need. One strip of fabric, 5½ inches by the width of the fabric, usually about 42 inches. A piece of 1/4 inch elastic about 16 inches long. You can make the scrunchies bigger by cutting a wider strip. Why not try 8½ or even 10 inches? I customized scrunchies to work with my hair. You can also adjust the elastic length. We're making this scrunchie with super cute gift bow fabric from the Peppermint collection. First, we'll be placing the long edges right sides together. I'm using Elmer's washable school glue in a fine tip bottle to temporarily baste the fabric. Start a few inches from the end and be sure to work close to the edge within what will be a 1/4 inch seam allowance. I do this by running a thin line of glue, positioning the other fabric, then hitting it with a dry iron. Draw a line where the glue starts with a marking pen so you know where to start and stop sewing. Glue basting instead of using pins really saved my fingers from getting poked. Move down the entire length of the piece. Stop a few inches from the other end and repeat marking. Over at the sewing machine, stitch between the two markings, back stitching at the beginning and end. Now you should have a long inside-out tube. There are a few methods you can use to turn it right side out, but Dritz makes a decent tube turner set that I've been using for projects like this. Insert the purple part into the fabric tube and fold over the end. Using the wooden dowel, gently push it into the middle of the purple piece. Then pull the fabric tube up and over it. It'll take a little muscle, but it works. Bring the two ends up and place right sides together, and check that the tube isn't twisted. Again, I glue basted the ends in place. Using pins for this section would have been tricky. Sew the short end with a 1/4 inch seam allowance. Don't forget to backstitch at the start and stopping points. At this point, the tube should be a closed circle with an opening where the seams meet up. It's time to run the elastic through the tube. You can use a safety pin or something like this bobbin holder. I tied the elastic to the bobbin holder and used it to thread through the fabric, holding tightly onto the other end. The elastic ends should be coming out at each side. Untie the elastic and overlap the ends a couple inches. I found this makes it easier to get underneath the sewing machine presser foot and centered. This part is not easy and may take a few tries to get right. With a zigzag stitch, sew about an inch forward and back. there will be excess elastic that you can just trim away. This is why I cut the elastic longer than I actually need. You can also adjust the length for your desired scrunchie size. With an iron, press the raw edges of the fabric at the opening in slightly more than 1/4 inch. Remember that this edge is curved, and I tried to press along the curve and not totally straight. Glue base the opening shut. The last step is to edge stitch about 1/8 of an inch to close up that gap. Backstitch at the beginning and end. You could hand sew the opening closed with a ladder stitch, but doing it by machine is probably faster and the stitching really isn't very noticeable. I like this extra large scrunchie because I can wrap it 3 times around my hair. But next time I'm going to make an even wider scrunchie. You can sew up a bunch of these in one day, and I think they'd be great stocking stuffers. If you're interested in getting the ready-to-sew holiday kit that includes the supplies to make this scrunchie, you can find the link down below in the description box. It features the FIGO Fabrics Peppermint collection, a really cute Christmas-themed line by designer Dana Willard. The kit includes already cut out pieces to make 2 drawstring bags, the giant scrunchie, extra supplies, and a fat quarter bundle of the 3 peppermint prints. There are a limited number of holiday sewing kits available for shipping in the US. When they're gone, they're gone. Come join me for some Christmas cheer and let's get sewing. Stay tuned for more holiday sew-along videos, and be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. I'm Jen with the Sewing Report, and remember, whatever you're doing, make it fun.